What's going on, everybody? Coach Stefan here. I'm here with one of our clients, Thomas. He's been in our program about 6 months. He's in the fire service. So, Thomas, I'll just have you introduce yourself so people have a little bit of context of who we're chatting with, and then we'll dive in, man.
Okay. So, as Coach just said, my name is Thomas Kirk. I'm a fire captain with a large fire department in California. Um, I've been doing the fire service for the last 23 years, just promoted recently to captain, uh, coming off an injury. And that's when I found the Pursuit Health and Fitness program and talked to these guys. And it was more for me to be able to lead my guys from the front versus trying to lead them from the back.
Yeah.
And so that's why I joined the program.
Yeah. So you joined back in November. So we're, at the mid end of May. So 6 months into the program, you've been working with Coach Mike. And I know you were, to give people some context too, you had knee surgery. So you were just got cleared to kind of start working out again. You had some extra body fat. You weren't really in the shape you wanted. What were some specific goals, like joining the program? What did you want to accomplish? Like, yes, the leadership role, but what specifically did you want to accomplish in the program to get you to feel like, hey, I can lead from the front?
I think my biggest thing was dropping the weight for me. I was at 245 and I carried most of my weight in my midsection. So I had a huge gut, kind of the cortisol belly from the stress and not sleeping at work. And I just wanted to get that weight off my chest and all that and off my midsection. So that was my biggest goal, was losing the weight. And now that I've lost the weight, I think it's more, my new goal is to build the endurance and the cardio and be able to kind of keep moving forward with that.
Yeah. So 6 months in, you're down 40 pounds, right? You went from like 245-ish to 204 or something, right?
Last weigh-in was 204. So I've been fluctuating between 204 and about 2010 for the past month and a half, 2 months now.
Yeah. And you guys can't see his pictures, but your first picture, I could tell, you had the belly, you had the belly, the body fat, but you had some good muscle. And then we started to strip those layers back, like the blocky abs. We saw your back picture. You have a ton of muscle. And was that kind of a shock for you to like see those photos and be like, dang, this was like kind of underneath?
Yeah, you put something up the other day in the school program or the school app,
Yeah,
and I was
community.
sitting there looking at it, and the two side by side, I'm like, that is a world of difference between when I started to what it was. I think that was probably 2 weeks ago, the picture that you put up.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And you looked super good. And sometimes it's hard to tell, right? When you look at yourself every day and, you've been chipping away. I, haven't been coaching you. So I saw, and then Mike was like, dude, check out Thomas. I'm like, damn, let's go. So that's awesome, man. You lost some of the weight. Like I know when I saw you on Zoom, face looks way different. Like you look lean, you look healthy. And then what other besides the weight loss, I know endurance has been a big thing. And I know before we were chatting, you're like, hey, that's been a huge difference to me, right? So let's
Right.
talk about aesthetically, you look awesome. What about performance wise? Like from where you were 6 months ago to now, what increases have you seen?
I think for me, like the huge increase is just the ability to do my job without getting fatigued and running that chance of injuring myself again. Um, we were talking earlier. I was telling you I had to work in structure fire. I don't know, about a month ago. Able to go inside, pulling a lot of ceiling. We had a running attic fire, doing work in there. I ran through a bottle, came out, changed, and I still had the energy and endurance to be able to go back in on another bottle and keep working for another full cycle of work without being fatigued. And even after being done with that, I wasn't winded, gassed like I used to be. I felt like I was able, like if we would have got another fire or had other work to go do after, I still would have had the endurance and stamina to be able to do it.
Yeah. And that's huge because I talk to a lot of firefighters and I know you guys have grit and you can grind, but it's not just about getting through it and then like just being destroyed, right? Like something like I could get through it, but and I'm like, yeah, like you can get through it, but then the rest of the day, like you're zapped, your energy systems, you feel like dog crap, and then you have other calls or other things that come up. really important that you're on this fire, you're going back, and I'm sure, you're tired, you're on it for hours and hours, but like, you're like, I could go again. And you obviously need that for your job. What were the big challenges and barriers for you before coming in the program? Like, obviously, you were heavier than you wanted. You didn't have the endurance. What were the things that were kind of standing in your way from getting where you wanted to go?
I think the biggest challenge for me with this program was, or before this program, was just not knowing how to work out, what to work out, like a workout cycle or workout routine was my biggest thing. I would go to the gym and kind of walk around like, oh, I'm going to do a little bit of this, I'll do a little bit of that, but it was never nothing as organized as the program now, like how Coach Mike has me set up to where I do a couple workouts that are working accessory muscles and muscles that I am going to be working out in my main body workout. And then I do my main body workout. And then, so the organization and the guidance and workout has been the biggest thing for me on this.
What about nutrition?
Nutrition has been, you know, talking to Mike at the start of this and getting set with this carnivore diet. I think that was the biggest help too. Or another help along with it is that just knowing what to eat, what not to eat, made a huge difference. And it showed within the first 2 weeks. I think I dropped almost 20 pounds in the first 2 weeks being on the program.
Yeah. Yeah. And to give people context that are listening, not everybody does like a carnivore or fully carnivore or semi-carnivore diet. Like we do have clients that, do different things, but obviously it's a discussion you had with Coach Mike. Like day one, you didn't know what you were going to get into. And I'm sure when you chatted with him, he's like, hey, this is what I think would be best for you. Let's reduce the inflammation. Let's cut out these foods. And you're probably were like, all right, let's do it. Right.
Yeah, I was 100% full bore in on it. The first 3 months of this program, my nutrition, I was very strict on. I would not eat anything that wasn't part of my diet, part of my thing. Thanksgiving, I barely ate any. Like I stuck strictly to my diet through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, through the holidays. And that first 3 months, I think, is kind of what set me up for success, being
Yeah.
very strict about it.
It's a lot of discipline. Do you feel that having a coach hold you accountable and give you guidance made a difference, like on how strict you were?
Yeah, I do. I think for me, like when I commit to someone, I don't like letting them down, and I think that kind of having that coach there, someone that I committed to that I will do this, is what helped keep me so strict towards it.
100%. And I'm glad you said that, because that's the coaching aspect. Like I think a lot of our firefighters and clients, like some of them played sports, so they kind of know like having a coach, like I don't want to let my coach down. And even then, it's like in your career field, if you have somebody that's higher ranking than you, that's like a mentor or whatever, like, you want to make them proud. You want to do well. You don't want to let them down. And unfortunately, when we don't have any outside source, right? No accountability, no like extra something, no skin in the game. Like it is easy to like, oh, I'll just wing the workout. Oh, I'll just do this with my nutrition. But if you've invested financially in the program, plus you have a coach, plus you have a program, you could tell that your consistency and discipline is, night and day, right? From what you were doing before and what you're doing after. And that's why 6 months in, you're, down 40 pounds and, getting pretty shredded and built a bunch of muscle and better endurance. And honestly, like it's obviously work you're doing. So good job to you. Coach Mike says really good things about you. I could see from your graphs how consistent you are with your nutrition and your training, and like the results speak for themselves. But like you said, we do talk to a lot of firefighters that are kind of where you were when you first started. They're like, well, I'm like eating kind of healthy. Like I go to the gym, but it's just kind of like dabbling, throwing some things at the wall, like having some structure. But you can see that's like where you were 6 months ago to like tightening things up, but physically totally different, performance wise totally different. And I say that because I think a lot of the first responder community, specifically firefighters and cops, feel like, oh, I'm doing okay. And I'm like, yeah, like you could do so much better though, man. Like I know you're going to the gym, I know you're trying to eat healthy, but we also have to look in the mirror and be like, does my body reflect where I want to be, right? And obviously you
Right.
kind of had that that wake up call when you first joined. On that topic, what were some of your like fears and hesitations before joining the program? Like, was there anything where you were like, I don't know, man, I don't know if this is gonna be good. Like, did you have any kind of skepticism?
I won't say I had any kind of skepticism. Like for me, I guess I was more worried about like your program not being exactly what it was. Like seeing your videos and stuff on Facebook, because I saw, I don't know, 5 or 6 different videos that you put out on between Facebook and Instagram before I even reached out to you. And then so I guess that was my biggest thing, is that your program wasn't going to be kind of like what it said it was when by watching those videos. But now that I've been in for it 6 months, your program is 100% better than even what your videos make it out to be.
That's awesome. That's a great compliment. And we do, and I appreciate you jumping on, and that's part of the reason I try to do these is, there's so much crap out there, man. There's so many like bro trainers and people like, oh, my programs get you ripped and shredded. And I'm like, don't believe me. Proof's in the pudding. Talk to people, talk to the firefighters that have been in, talk to the cops that have been in, like let them tell you. And I asked that question because I think the skepticism is very real, and you should, right? You should go in with like, hey, let's see if this is gonna actually do what I want to do. And time again, I'm telling people like, dude, we're good at what we do. We have high level coaches. Obviously, Mike is extremely smart, um, and super attentive, and we have to have a program that gets people results, period. Right? Like
Right.
that's how we say in business. That's how we get people to make transformations. Like we don't get in for just, kind of just being dabbling in fitness. Like we have to get somebody in, have them actually have a custom program. So on that note too, how has the customization, communication, just like it adapting to your lifestyle, the speed of the coach getting back to you, educating you, like how's the whole experience been?
On that, like Mike is really good about like if I text something through the Pursuit app, a question about anything, or I need like a little help on something, he's usually back to me within, I don't know, maybe the latest an hour, just because he's probably got something going on. But he's relatively quick about getting back to me with a response to anything, and then helping me out with stuff. Uh, I like having video chats with on like what we're doing right
Yeah.
now. But the Zoom, what are they? Looms,
Yeah.
the
Weekly
notifications
check-ins. Yeah.
or the weekly check-ins are awesome, because you get that positive feedback, and then you get to hear the coach like give you feedback like, hey, you're looking good here. Let's try doing this. We're going to try to do this in your next week of programming to try to improve on this aspect of your physique or something along that lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, the program and the coaches getting back to you have been amazing.
Yeah. I'm glad. Right. And that's another thing I think the coaching industry sometimes like doesn't do a good job of, which gets a bad rap. And I know because I talk to probably like 300 first responders every single month. And some of them did online coaching and they're like, yeah, my coach like emailed me and then they got back to me 4 days later. It's like, man, it's just not good. Right. And so the big thing is we want the speed of communication, right? Obviously, the coach being there, answering your questions, guiding you, educating you. But also because we work with people that work crazy schedules, the customization, right? Another big fear we have is like, and I get it, but I hear this all the time is like, I don't know if it will work for like me, for like my life. Like, you don't get it, dude. I have a crazy schedule, all that. How is the program adapted to your schedule, your careers, your lifestyle? I mean, do you feel like it's fit you and there's adjustments to kind of change things as you're going through your transformation in your life?
Yeah, you know, the first 3 months on the program, I was out still on injury. Like we said, I got cleared to go back to work, and or not to back to work, but cleared to go to do my
Mhm.
workouts. And then I started with you guys, and that was easy. But once I got back to work, it started like getting a little tougher to program and stay up on this. But the nice thing about the program is I can adjust my days and move my workouts forward or backwards, so that I have, like, if I have a super busy day, I'm at a station that we run about 20 calls a day. So
Sheesh.
depending on how busy it is, I can adjust and go like, I got hammered today. I'm going to move this everything back one day and be able to still meet all my workouts for the program.
Right. And that's super important, right? Like obviously your career comes first and your safety comes first. And if you're, what we don't want to do, especially for like fire and law enforcement, inherently a little more like dangerous jobs, we don't want to necessarily like destroy you guys and then have you have a whole shift or whatever, like not super optimal for safety. So I think, yes, the flexibility of like, obviously you could tell Coach Mike, hey, this is taking too long, or this isn't working, or this is working. But the solo flexibility, like if for those of you watching, you can literally go on the app and just drag it to the next day, right? Update your coach, okay, I moved this happened because week to week, we need consistency with flexibility, right? And I know they're kind of an oxymoron. Like, how can you have consistent structure, but also flexibility? But the problem with this community, generally, with people when they don't come to us, is it's all or nothing, right? Because you
Right.
guys are like such high achievers and go, 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 you're like, if I can't stick on the schedule, then it all falls apart. It's like, no, there's another way. And the other way is like having structure, having the app where you can see your workouts, still get them in. And it might not be, Monday you hit legs at 2 p.m. every Monday. Like that's not the lifestyle that you're going to have, but creating the structure so you can get the physical results, right? We have to go through phases. We have to progressively overload you. Like those are all things that we need to do. So yeah, that's good that's worked for you. I guess my last question, 6 months into the program, you've had an amazing transformation. I mean, it's good to hear that not only physically, but like your performance, because that's one thing that I think we try to make the promise on is like, hey, we're going to help you burn fat, build muscle, and increase your performance at the same time, right? In the same
Right.
time frame. You've done it. You've done a really good job at it. Um, what would you say to somebody that's on the fence? I mean, that's a firefighter, I guess, in your position that maybe thought what you thought. Like, I don't know if this program's actually going to be what it's going to be. I don't know if this is the right move for me.
Uh, I guess I would say like, this program, you got to give it a chance. Take a chance with it. And when you take that chance with it, commit 100% to it. And this program will give you back tenfold of what you put into it. Just if you're on the fence about it, I say jump, don't think about it, just do it. This program's worth every penny that you're going to spend towards it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And it's a little bit of a leap, right? Like everybody that joins the program, guys, we have a Zoom call like we did, and it's a decision, right? Like it is that. But I tell everybody, like every big decision in your life, there's a little period of pause, right? Like you get married, you take a career, you move. It's like, and like that is your decision. And I do want people to be both feet in, super open about that. And I tell people, like, if you're like, let's go, you will be successful. Because if
Yep.
something's not working, we're just going to change it till it does. And it's very important that we hold our clients accountable. We hold your feet to the fire. We push you, we challenge you. And if you're willing to just show up and put in the work, yeah, you'll be successful. And obviously, you're one of many clients I'm sure you've seen in school that we post, our wins every week. You can see that it's not just you, right? It's tons and tons and tons of clients. And so I do appreciate you jumping on, and I'm excited. I'm kind of pumped to see where you're going to be in like 6 more months, man. Like you're in a really good spot halfway through your program, and you've made a lot of progress. And I'm kind of excited to see, how far you take it because the big thing is getting you to the point where you are good to go and you're like, hey man, thanks guys. Like I've got here. I'm super dialed in. I'm the leader I want to be now. Um, and that's important. And then one last thing, because I didn't ask. Mentally, I know in the beginning you were like, hey, I feel like I'm more of the leader. Like walk me through where you were mentally in like your position in your career and how you felt as a leader, maybe leading more from the back versus you actually doing the work to feel like, hey, I can lead from the front. Like how's that shift been for you?
Uh, it's been a good shift so far. Like when I was overweight, out of shape, I couldn't be up there with my guys doing the work because they are either we do a lot of wildland fires and stuff too. So for me to, I would be way down the hill, and my guys would be, a quarter mile ahead of me, still fighting it, and I can't supervise or keep them out of harm's way, being that far behind. Now that I've lost this weight and I can keep up these guys inside the structure, stay there, um, I feel like mentally it's made me a better leader and just pushed me to being a just a better round firefighter.
100%, yeah. And leaders lead from the front, and it's talking the talk and leading by example. And when you got people younger than you, or less years in the career, if you're barking orders but you're the out of shape guy, like it doesn't hold a lot, right? Of
No.
weight. But if you're like up there with them and you're like, let's go, like it's way different. And I know mentally, for me being a leader in different positions and like my company and different things that I do, I don't lead well when I'm not actually doing the thing. Like we can say it all day, we can fake it, we can kind of put on a mask, we can get through it, but like the authenticity is missing. And so I love to see that shift. You're one of many firefighters that we've had in our program that come through and they're like, I show up different than work. Like people notice the energy is a little bit different. People respect me a little bit more. They see me putting in the work. And some of my other guys are wanting to work out too. And this is what it's supposed to be. So
Yeah, I would say, I've had that even within in my department. I've had guys ask me like what I've been doing, and I refer them to you guys. I have other engineers and people below me that are starting to change the way they eat, starting to watch
awesome.
count their macros and stuff like that. And they're, you know, I would like to believe that a small portion of it is them seeing me change and deciding that they want to do the same thing, or they're if I can do it, they can do it type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, when a leader's taking action and doing it, it puts pressure on other people in a good way, right? Like
Yes.
it does. It changes the environment. And I know some stations, like I've talked to one the other day, is like everybody's out of shape here. And I'm like, yeah, that's the culture. And somebody has to change it, right? And so it's really cool to see like leaders and people that are higher ranking step in, show up to the call, and 6 months ago, you're like, all right, I got to do better. And you have, and you've done a great job, dude. So super proud of you. Obviously, it's still 100% the work you're putting in the discipline. Like we can't make you do it. So great job on you. We're super proud of you. And I appreciate you jumping on, man. This is super helpful.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for at least having this program and reaching out to me. And I'm glad I actually went with it and I did this program. It's been a huge change in my life since joining and working with you guys.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for the next 6 months.
So am I. We'll see
Yeah.
where we're at by the end of it.
Yeah, you'll crush it, dude. You'll crush
Yeah,
it. Thanks, man.
awesome. Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.